grade 21.
Good evening and welcome to AirPlay. I'm Connie Keffinger and I welcome you. We're almost at the end of our 14th season and I thank my wonderful host and wonderful producer, Rachel Love, who makes this all possible for us. Yay! And our wonderful actors today and playwrights and all sorts of people. And as you know, we do this live. So we have technical difficulties sometimes. And so tonight, we are going to have a play by Rubin Ladutke, a very old friend of mine that I met several years back, wonderful playwright. Brandy, can you tell us a little bit about the play, the playwright, and the players?
I'd love to. So our playwright today, as Connie said, is Rubin Ladutke. I practiced saying her name earlier, and now my mouth is not going to do it. She recently returned to writing after a too-long hiatus, and she's determined to make up for lost time. She's deeply grateful to her theater family for their support and encouragement, and she looks forward to a productive, fun, and creative summer. Rachel is delighted that Nerissa's Quest, our play today, is part of AirPlay 21, and she thanks Coni and Brandy for their interest in her work. So our actors today, we do have Nerissa, who was originally supposed to join us, but due to technical difficulties, cannot. We have Lexi, who will be reading the part of Nerissa. She's thrilled to be reading this beautiful play. Some recent favorite credits of hers include Anna in Spring Awakening, Elmer in NEWSIES, Elle Wood in Legally Blonde, Fredrika in A Little Night Music, Annie in Annie, Dipper and Oliver, Shelly in Hairspray, and Little Lucy in The Orphan Train. Lexi has performed in many children's plays with Studio Playhouse in Montclair. Lexi is also a competitive dancer and has participated in the Paper Mill Playhouse Summer Conservatory program. She's currently a sophomore at Montclair High School. Our other actor today is Luann Salkin. She holds an MFA in acting from the Asolo Conservatory / FSU and has worked professionally at Radio City Music Hall and other regional and NYC productions. She's the co-founder of Eccentric Theater Company, a local theater company that she runs with her daughter, Veronica. She's performed locally with a number of companies and was fortunate to play characters from Violet in August Osage County to Betty Davis in Legends and Bridge. And then you know me as the co-host. I'll be filling in for Nerissa today. So our play is Nerissa's Quest. Our setting is the kitchen of a small cottage in the west of Ireland, the present. At Rise, the room is empty. After a minute, Nerissa runs on stage. She is just 13 and arriving home.
Mom? Uh-oh. Hey! Mom!
Would you not keep it down, Nerissa? I have a terrible headache.
You are a terrible headache.
Something is wrong. I only get headaches when something is very, very wrong.
Oh, please, not that rubbish again. Did the post come?
Maybe so. Looking for something?
Nothing in particular.
Maybe this.
Where did you get that?
It fell from the sky.
Give
It was in the post box. Where do you think?
Give it to me.
Why haven't you been to school? What are you doing all day?
Mind your own business. I'm going to tell Mom you've been opening her mail.
How are you going to do that? Telepathy? Don't believe in that, remember?
She's coming back.
Well, if I were you, I'd accept facts and not hold my breath. She's been gone a whole week.
Oh, shut up, Finola. You don't know everything.
You're so naive, Nerissa, and you're such a spoiled brat. We'll never see Aunt Roan again, and we've you to thank for that.
So you think you know the future, but I see no crystal ball. My mom's not gone forever. She just needs some time, that's all.
You'd always pick a fight and cause her sorrow. What a shame. So it's coming back to haunt you now, and you're the one to blame.
Just hold your tongue, you spiteful wretch. You know I'm feeling bad, and I think you'd show some sympathy since you've neither mom or dad.
Well, I was made an orphan, but you drove your mom away. If you'd been nicer to Aunt Roan, she'd still be here today.
You've told me this 100 times. You say it just to hurt me. No matter what I've said to her, she never would desert me. Just give me the letter.
Ouch, you little wretch.
I'm sorry.
Shut your gob and take your note, and I will leave you be, because I've got better things to do, like putting up some tea.
Oh, I'm so all alone now, and life seems so unreal. And there's no one in the world to understand the things I feel. Oh, Mama, why did you leave me? 'Cause I caused you so much pain? If it's true and I made amends to you, would you come back home again? Dear Da, I'm really sorry. I have left to go find Mom. But you needn't fret and worry, 'cause when I find her, we'll come home. You see, I took some money, but it's just a tiny bit, and since we're running low again, I won't be squandering it. I'll take my map and find my way, and lots of food to eat. I'll bring my downy coat and woolen socks to warm my feet. Love, Nerissa.
Nerissa, tea's ready. Oh, fine, let it get cold. Come on, Nerissa, I said. Oh, you've got to be kidding. What am I supposed to do now? You're back already. Uncle Seamus, Nerissa's run away. Scene 1, the setting, the forest, sometime later.
I don't just see why everyone thinks they can order me about. I'm 13 already, that's nearly grown, but nobody takes any notice. Oh, if only I were as strong as Finola. Then I'd show her who's boss. She's not even my sister, but Mom and Dad treat her so much nicer than me.
Could it be they feel sorry for her?
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Why, Ron and Seamus, of course. They may feel sorry for Fionnuala losing her parents, and at such a young age, too.
I don't care. But how did you know all of that? How did you know my name? Their names? Who are you?
Ah, never mind that. You oughtn't to have to run away like that. Have you lost your senses altogether?
I haven't time to stand here and be insulted. If you won't tell me the truth, just let me by.
Where are you going?
Not your business, is it?
Aye, but it is. I've been asked to see to you.
Who asked you?
You'll find out in time.
Have you been following me?
Ah, sure, and I've no need to do that then.
Then how?
Oh, you can't know everything at once. Why aren't you at home?
I felt like being on my own, that's all.
You'll be missed.
There's no chance of that. I bet they haven't even noticed I'm gone yet.
Ah, you mightn't be out here alone at night.
Nor should you. I can take care of myself. I'm strong.
Shannon hands her a thick stick.
Can you break this?
Nerissa tries her best several times, but she is unable to break it.
It's too thick.
If I can break this, you'll have to listen to me.
For how long?
As long as I say.
You never could. It's too thick.
Is it a deal?
3 minutes.
Shannon takes it and easily breaks it in two. She hands Nerissa the pieces.
I'm stronger than I look. Now, young Nerissa, my name is Shannon, and I'm a Shanachie. Do you know what that is?
Old lady? How did you know my name?
A storyteller.
I'm too old for stories.
Nobody's too old for stories. That's one of the biggest problems today. Everybody wants to forget their history, if indeed they ever knew it to begin with. What do you know of Fergus, Cahoolin, Brigid, the kings and giants and warriors of long ago?
Those are just made up. They don't mean anything.
Are you so sure?
Of course I am. It's all nonsense. Now, if that's all you have to say to me, I really must be going.
I'm coming with you.
Says who, old lady? Look, I've tried to be polite, but you're getting on my nerves.
Likewise. 'Tis time you told me the truth about what you're doing out in this road at this hour by yourself. Or else listen to a story before you're off. Which is it?
A story, I guess.
Ha, all right. Let's see. Many years ago, a showman came to the town of Dingle and performed all sorts of tricks. He'd eat a dozen straws and then pull yards of ribbon from his throat. The strangest thing he did was to harness a rooster to a great log of wood. Men, women, and children were breaking their bones running to see the rooster, and he, a small bird, drawing such a great weight of timber. One day, when the showman was driving the bird on the road toward Brandon Mountain, he met a man with a bundle of fresh grass on his back. The man was astonished to see crowds running after a rooster dragging one straw behind him. "You fool," said the people. "Don't you see the bird drawing a log of timber? And it would fail any horse to draw the like of it." "Indeed, then I do not. I see the bird dragging a straw behind him, and sure I've seen the like many a time." Hearing this, the showman went to the man and asked what price he was asking for the bundle. The man didn't wish to sell the grass as he needed it for his fire, but at last he parted with it. The showman gave the grass to his boy and told him to go aside and drop it into the river. The boy did that, and when the bundle went down with the stream, the man suddenly saw the rooster dragging a log behind him, and he too ran after the rooster with the crowd. That evening, the same man was telling a friend how at first he saw the bird with a straw behind him, and then suddenly he did see him drawing a great log of wood. "Oh, you fool," said the friend. "Sure, and there was a shamrock in your bundle of grass. Well, you have the shamrock. It kept every enchantment and devilment from you, and when you parted with it, you became as big a fool as any other."
That's a stupid story.
Is it now?
Yeah. There's no such thing as enchantment.
What you see is what you get.
That's right. Yes.
You know it all, do you?
I know enough.
There's a bit of magic in the world yet, I think.
No, there's not. If there was, then people wouldn't do such horrible things to each other.
Nerissa, it wasn't your fault, you know.
What wasn't?
That Rowan left.
How did you... Have you been spying on me or something?
Not a bit of it. I hear things is all.
You've got a bit of luck then. Nobody tells me anything, especially lately. They just whisper and ask me to leave the room and treat me like a little kid. I'm dead sick of it. Dad won't even say Mum's name, and if anyone brings her up, he walks out of the room. Unless he's had too many pints down at the pub, then he just starts to cry. But still, he won't say her name. Or anything else for that matter. Well, someone's got to do something. Fiona is no help at all. She insists she can tell the future, but she didn't warn me this would happen, so what's the use in it?
Did you believe her? Just because someone's fey doesn't mean her powers are foolproof. You don't see everything that goes on either, do you?
Your time's up.
Don't you think, Nerissa, that you should go home?
I think you're a noisy old prune, whoever you are. And you talk nonsense. Nobody is fey either. Nobody can tell the future. It's all nonsense, I say.
Whether you like it or not, I was sent to watch over you. I've got to keep you safe.
Sent by who?
Some things you have to find out for yourself.
What I have to do is find Mum. If you're so worried, then come with me. You know everything. Help me find her, or else leave me be. Stupid stories I don't need. I've got all this time to kill. If you won't help me find her, I'll find someone who will.
I'll help you if you promise that once she talks to us, you'll go back home at once and not make any fuss.
All right. Yes.
Then help you I will. Now we'd better get set up. Night's coming.
Where are you going to sleep?
The ground is usually my bed.
Really? Are you a beggar?
You really need to learn some manners. But I'll ignore that this time. Now go, look for some wood. We'll build the fire.
And what are you going to be doing meanwhile?
I'm going to rest my bones and think about dinner. Go on.
Slave labor, is that it? Might as well stay at home.
She's an unpleasant child. Oh, but unhappiness will do that to a person. Sure it will. She'll learn. They all learn in time. No, don't worry about that. Yes, of course I have it with me. But don't worry, she won't find it. Oh, yes, she's a handful, all right. But sharp as a tack, that one. Wherever did you manage to keep things to yourself for so long?
Hey, Shannon, is this enough?
It is not.
Who are you talking to?
Never mind about that. Keep looking.
Lights fade. End scene 1. Scene 2. Setting, the forest, later. It is dark. The stars are out, but there's little moonlight. At rise, Nerissa and Shannon lie sleeping. Nerissa is covered in a blanket. Shannon is snoring slightly. A mystical light begins to shine, and Roan appears, bathed in moonlight.
Mom? Where have you been? I've been looking for you.
Roan walks around Nerissa in a circle 3 times, then bends over and whispers in her ear. Then she is gone. Suddenly, Nerissa sits bolt upright.
Mom? Where did you go? Come back!
She rises and walks in the same circle. She nearly trips over Shannon's sack.
Ow! What do you have in there, old lady? Rocks?
She starts to head back to her blanket, but turns back to look at the bag again. She tiptoes back and grabs the bag. She carries it to her blanket, sits, and opens it, looking nervously at Shannon from time to time. She pulls out an object wrapped in canvas, tied with a rope.
What the?
She unties the rope and pulls off the canvas.
I wonder what this is.
She touches it lightly.
Are those eyes? It's looking at me gross.
When she pulls her hand back, the item comes with it. This item is exactly her size and has begun adhering to her skin wherever she touches it.
Hey, cut that out. Get off of me.
Nerissa struggles to get free of the mysterious object, which is molding itself to her. Every time she pulls it away from one part of her clothing, it sticks somewhere else. Finally, she panics.
Help! Shannon, help!
Oh, you fool! It's too soon yet. Oh, wait, I tell you.
Jumping to her feet, she manages to pull the object off Nerissa.
Ow!
Shannon shakes the object sternly. She folds it carefully, rewraps it in the canvas, ties the rope, and sticks it back into her bag where it subsides meekly.
Are you all right?
What is that thing?
Oh, never mind what it is. You are the rudest and most impudent girl I have ever met in my entire life.
Is it some kind of animal skin? Did you kill it? Feels awfully dodgy.
Never in my life have I harmed another living creature. Until now. I'll answer no more questions from you. Stay out of my things, do you hear?
I think I have a right to know. It nearly killed me. What is this, a horror film? Are you a witch or something?
I thought you didn't believe in witches.
I don't. But
what?
I don't know. I'm sorry, Shannon.
You're what?
It was none of my business. I shouldn't have looked.
You can't help being curious, I suppose.
How did you get it off of me? And how come you know all about me? Did you know my mom?
I did, yes. And Fiona's as well. Both Ron and Roisin were quite well known to me.
Did I meet you before? Are you someone I'm supposed to know? I don't remember.
Oh, no matter. You know me now. And all will become clearer in time, young Nerissa.
Listen, Shannon, I had a dream about my mom.
Is that so?
I never had such a real dream before. Am I fey like Finola too, do you suppose?
Ah, that's nonsense, isn't it? No such thing. You said so yourself.
I don't know. Maybe some people really can sense things.
Well, then, I sense that we should get some sleep now if we're going to keep on this wild goose chase.
All right then. Good night, Shannon.
Good night, young one.
Nobody ever called me that Bada.
Do you mind it?
I suppose not. Are you going to tell me what that thing is?
Ah, when it's time, all will be explained. Meanwhile, stay out of my things.
Believe me, I will. I have no wish to be swallowed whole. Good night, y'all witch, you.
Good night, Nerissa.
Shannon, would you not sing me a song? Just a wee one.
I know no songs.
You're a Shawnee. You must know one. You're bluffing. Or a story, then.
If only one comes to mind, 'tis a long one.
That's all right, I guess.
There was once a poor man who lived in the glen at the foot of the gloomy mountains. He had a great lump on his back, and his head was pressed down with the weight of it. The people called him Lusmore, as he was said to have great knowledge of herbs and charms, but certain it was that he had a skill in weaving straw and rushes into hats and baskets to earn a living. One evening, he was later than usual returning home, and as he could only walk very slowly on account of the great hump on his back, it was quite dark when he came to the old moat of Knockrafton. Tired and weary was he, and sad when he thought how much farther he had to travel. So he sat down beside the moat to rest, and began looking upon the moon. Very soon came an unearthly melody upon his ears. As he listened, he thought never had he heard such a ravishing music. It had the sound of many voices, mingling and blending so strangely that they seemed to be one, though all singing different tunes. The words of the song were these: Daluan, da mort, Daluan, da mort, Daluan, da mort. Whom? Then there would be a pause, and then the round of melody went on again. Lusmore listened attentively. The singing came from the moat, and though at first it charmed him, he began to get tired of hearing the same round sung over and over without any change. So, in the pause when the Daluan da Mort had been sung 3 times, he took up the tune and raised it with the words Angus da Cardine, and then went on singing with the voices Daluan da Mort, finishing the melody with the pause again with Angus da Cardine. The fairies within Knockrafton, for the song was a fairy melody, were so delighted when they heard this addition to the tune. They agreed to bring the mortal among them who had such musical skill, and Lusmore was conveyed into the company with the speed of a whirlwind. Glorious to behold was a sight that burst upon him as he came down through the moat, twirling round and round with the lightness of a straw, to the sweetest music that kept time to his motion. The greatest honor was paid him, for he was put above all the musicians, and he had servants tending upon him, and everything to his heart's content, and a hearty welcome. But he saw a great consultation among the fairies, and never mind their kindness, he felt very much frightened, until one came up to him and said, Lusmore, Lusmore, doubt not, nor deplore, for the hump which you have bore on your back is no more. Look down on the floor and view it, Lusmore. Suddenly, poor little Lusmore felt himself so light and so happy that he thought he could have jumped over the moon if he was asked. He watched in amazement as his hump tumbled down to the ground. He lifted his head and looked around and round again with great wonder and delight. At last, he fell into a sound sleep, and when he woke, it was broad daylight, the sun shining brightly, and the birds singing sweetly. He was lying just at the foot of the moat, with cows and sheep grazing all around him. The very first thing he did was to put his hand behind to feel for his hump, but no sign of one was there on his back. He was now a well-shaped little fella, and even found himself in a full suit of new clothes, which the fairies had made for him. Home he went, and it was not long before the story got round. A great wonder was made of it, and it was the talk of everyone, high and low. One morning, as Lusmore was sitting at his cabin door, up came another man with a hump on his back and demanded, "Are you Lusmore?" "I am," said the good-natured answer. "Well, tell me how you got rid of your hump," demanded the ill-tempered fellow. "Maybe if I could use the same charm, the hump may be taken off me." Lusmore had his doubts, but he was ever a good-natured little fellow, and he told the man all the particulars. The man went away, and he arrived just at nightfall at the old moat of Grafton, and there he planned to spend the night. Jack Madden, for that was the humpy man's name, had not been sitting there long when he heard the tune within the moat, even sweeter than before, for the fairies were singing it the way Lusmore had, and it was going on, "La da luan da mort, da luan da mort, da luan da mort, Agnes da Cardine," without ever stopping. Being in a great hurry to get quit of his hump, he never thought of waiting till the fairies had done, or watching for a fit opportunity to raise the tune higher again. So having heard them sing it over 7 times without stopping, out he bawls, never minding the time or the humour of the tune, or how he could bring his words in properly. Angus da Cardine, Angus da Henna. He thought that if one day was good, 2 was better, and that if Lusmore had 1 new suit of clothes given him, he should have 2. Now, no sooner had the words passed his lips than he was taken up and whisked into the moat with great force. For the fairies came crowding round him with anger, screeching and screaming and roaring out, "Who spoiled our tune? Who spoiled our tune?" And one stepped up to him above all the rest and said, Jack Madden, your words came so bad in, the tune we felt glad in, this castle you're having, that your life we may sadden. Here's 2 humps for Jack Madden." And 20 strong fairies brought Lusmore's hump and put it down upon poor Jack's back, over his own, where it became fixed as firmly as if it were nailed on with 12 penny nails, by the best carpenter that ever was. Out of the moat they then kicked him, and in the morning, when Lusmore passed him on his way to sell the baskets, he found Jack Madden lying at the foot of the moat with both humps on his back.
Served him right. That's not much fun. I like the other one better.
Oh, you did you?
Hey, Shannon, why do you sleep on the ground? Do you not have children to look after you?
Go to sleep.
All right, all right. I was only trying to take an interest.
Soon as Nerissa nods off, Roan enters bathed in ethereal light. She sits by Nerissa, stroking her hair as Nerissa sleeps. Lights fade. End scene 2. And that's the ending of our reading today.